Welcome back to The Mind, a podcast series by the Ramakrishna Vedanta Centre, New Zealand, where modern science and the contemplative traditions of yoga and Vedanta meet in plain language. I'm Rama, your host. If you're just joining us, here's the shape of the show. You're listening in on a real conversation between Swamiji, who studies the mind through both science and contemplation, and three people with everyday questions: Sarah, a parent; James, a teacher; and Kai, a skeptical university student. Last time, we discovered that every experience is a meeting of two things: what the world gives us and what we bring to it, X and Y, which raised a quieter, far more personal question. If I am the one bringing all of that, who exactly is this I? Today, who is the one who knows? Let's join them. The same room, a week later. The chairs are a little closer this time. There is tea again. People settle quickly. There is a sense of picking up a thread rather than starting from scratch.
Last time I asked each of you to catch one strong reaction and divide it into X and Y. The bare facts on one side, what you brought on the other. Did anyone manage it?
I did. With my daughter, like I said I would. She came home, went straight to her room, didn't say a word. And I felt this wave of worry. Something's wrong. She's shutting me out. Then I did the X and Y thing. X. She walked in and went to her room. That was the whole of X. Everything else, the dread, the story about her shutting me out, that was all Y. It was almost embarrassing how little was actually X.
Mine was the phone. I caught the moment after scrolling where I feel worse. X was basically, I looked at a screen for 40 minutes. The flatness, I've wasted my evening, what's wrong with me, all Y.
I tried it with a student I'd written off as lazy, and I noticed my Y arrive before he'd even done anything. He sat down and I'd already decided how the lesson would go for him.
Good. Every one of you noticed the same thing. How much of the situation was actually you? Now I want to ask the obvious next question, the one that quietly follows from everything you just said. Sarah, you said you felt the worry. Kai, you felt the flatness. James, you had already decided. So let me ask, who is this I that was doing all the feeling and deciding? Who exactly is the one who knows?
That sounds like a trick question.
It isn't a trick. It's the most personal question you can ask. And unlike most big questions, you don't have to take my word for any of it. You can check every step inside your own experience right here. Shall we? Let's start with something simple. Kai, pick up something near you. Your cup, your phone, anything.
Okay.
Now just notice what's actually happening. Not the cup's story, the structure of the moment. How many things are involved in you seeing that cup?
Well, there's the cup, and there's me looking at it.
And in between?
The looking itself, I suppose. The seeing.
Three things then. There is the cup, the thing known. There is the seeing, the act of knowing. And there is you, the one who knows. Hold that shape in mind because it is everywhere. When you hear a sound, there's the sound, the hearing, and the one who hears. When you remember last week, there's the memory, the remembering, and the one who remembers. Sarah, when you felt that worry about your daughter, what were the three?
There was the worry. There was me feeling it. And me, the one who was worried.
Exactly. Every single act of the mind has this same shape, someone knowing something. A knower, a knowing, and a known. It's so constant that we never notice it, like the frame around every picture you've ever looked at. You see the pictures, you never see the frame.
It's a bit like grammar, isn't it? Subject, verb, object. I see the cup. We can't even build a sentence about experience without all three.
That is a beautiful way to put it, James. It's the grammar of experience itself. And the contemplative investigators of India noticed this structure thousands of years ago, sitting and watching their own minds the way a scientist watches an experiment. They gave the two ends names. The thing known, the cup, the sound, the worry, they called grahya, which simply means what is grasped or what is taken in, and the one who knows, the knower at the other end, they called grahaka, the one who grasps.
So grahaka is me, the subject. Grahya is the cup, the object.
For now, yes. The words don't matter much. The observation is the point. Every act of knowing has two poles, a knower and a known. You can test it against any moment of your experience and you'll find it holds. Hold on to that, because in a moment we're going to look very carefully at one of those two poles, and something strange is going to happen.
So what's the strange thing?
Let's find it together rather than me telling you. Look at the two poles again. The known, the object, is easy to find, isn't it? The cup is right there. The worry is right there. You can point to whatever you're aware of. Now try to find the other pole. Kai, the you who is aware of the cup. Where is it? Point to it.
Behind my eyes, in my head somewhere. I keep wanting to point, but I can't actually find a spot.
Keep looking. Don't rush past it.
It's weird, the cup is obviously there, but the one looking at the cup, when I try to actually locate it, there's nothing to grab. It feels totally obvious that I'm here and totally impossible to point at.
That's the first strange thing, and you found it yourself. The object is locatable. The subject, the one who is supposed to be doing the knowing, is somehow elusive. Now here's the second, and it's the one that changes everything. Sarah, say to yourself silently, I am tired. Do you have it?
Yes, easily. It's true, actually.
Now notice it. Notice the thought, I am tired. What just happened to it?
It became something I'm looking at, like I stepped back from it.
Yes. A moment ago, I am tired was you, it was the subject, the one having the experience. But the instant you noticed it, the whole thing, including the I inside it, became an object, something you're aware of. The I that was the knower just turned into one more thing that is known.
That's slippery. Say it again.
Try another one. Think, I am the one watching this thought. Now notice that. Where did the watcher go?
It became the next thing I'm watching. There's always something further back doing the watching.
Every time. I am anxious, notice it, and the anxious I is now in front of you, observed. I'm the kind of person who worries too much, notice it, and that I is observed too. The everyday I, the particular person you take yourself to be, with your name and history and habits, turns out to be something you can observe. And here is the conclusion that follows, quietly and undeniably. Whatever can be known is not, finally, the knower. The I you usually treat as the one in charge can itself be seen. So it can't be the deepest seer.
So if I keep trying to step back and catch the real watcher,
Try it. Notice your state. Now notice the one noticing it. Now notice the one noticing that. What happens?
it just keeps going. Every time I think I've caught the watcher, there's something behind it doing the catching. It never stops.
And that endless chain is the clue. You can't catch the one who knows, because the moment you catch anything, that's already become the known, and something else is doing the knowing. Let me give you two old images for this. The eye sees the whole room, but it cannot see itself directly. The knife cuts many things, but it cannot cut itself. The knowing is like that. It's what's doing all the looking. It is never the thing being looked at.
So when I actually try to find the knower, I don't find a thing at all.
You find that there is knowing, happening, right now, as you sit here, but no separate little person you can dig out from behind it. The thought appears in it. The feeling appears in it. Even the everyday I appears in it and gets noticed by it. But the knowing itself can't be turned around and inspected, any more than your eye can swivel round to look at itself.
I have to be honest, this is right at the edge of what I can follow.
Then let me say clearly what this is, and just as importantly, what it is not. I am not saying you don't exist. Sarah is completely real. There's a body, a history, 2 children, a life. None of that is being denied. I'm not describing a vision or a mystical state. There's no light, no special experience, just careful looking at something that was always there. And I'm not asking you to believe anything. You can check all of it yourself. If it doesn't land today, that's fine. Most people need to return to it over days or weeks before it clicks. The looking rewards patience.
All right, but let me ask the thing I'm actually thinking. Even if all this is true, why does it matter? On a hard day with my daughter, what does any of it change?
It changes the one thing that matters most. Let me show you. When you suffer, who suffers? The anxiety, the grief, the shame, the worry about your daughter. Who do they all happen to?
Me. The everyday me.
The everyday I, yes. Now, if that everyday I is all you are, then when it says, I am anxious, that's the whole truth about you. There's no part of you that isn't the anxiety. The suffering becomes total. It fills the whole frame. Kai, you'll know this one. When a young person thinks, I am a failure, it doesn't feel like a passing thought. It feels like a verdict on their entire being.
Yeah, it feels like the final word on you.
But you've just seen, this evening, that the everyday I is something that can be noticed. It appears within a wider awareness. So what happens to I am anxious when you notice it?
It becomes something I'm aware of, not the whole of me.
And is the awareness that notices the anxiety itself anxious?
No, the noticing is just noticing. It's quiet.
That is the whole thing, Sarah. The anxiety is still real. I'm not waving it away. The everyday I is still anxious. But now there is something in you that sees the anxious I, and that seeing is not itself anxious. So the anxiety has somewhere to be held. There's space around it. It becomes one event in a much larger field instead of the entire sky.
That's the difference between a child who has their panic and a child who can say, I'm noticing I feel panicky. The second one already has a bit of room.
Exactly that room. And this is the practical heart of the whole course, so let me say it plainly. Mental health is not, at bottom, about getting rid of difficult experiences. Difficult experiences will come. It's about developing a different relationship to them. And that relationship only becomes possible when there's a little space between the experience and the one who has it. The very first opening of that space is what you saw tonight. That the I who suffers is itself something appearing in a wider awareness.
I want to push on this because it sounds close to something I'm suspicious of. Isn't this just neuroscience? It's all the brain. The awareness is just neurons firing.
A fair challenge and an important one. Science can now track in astonishing detail which parts of the brain light up when you feel joy or fear. That work is real and valuable. But notice the gap. Knowing which neurons fire during joy tells you about the machinery. It doesn't tell you about the joy as it is lived. And it certainly isn't the same as the awareness in which the joy is known. The brain activity and the lived knowing are simply not the same kind of thing. Keeping that distinction clear actually protects the science. It stops two different questions from being mashed into one.
So you're not denying the brain, you're saying measuring the machinery isn't the same as the experience itself.
Precisely. And here's something that may interest you given your suspicion. This isn't only ancient talk. A great deal of modern therapy rests on exactly the move we made tonight. Mindfulness-based approaches, used now in clinics and hospitals, train people to see thoughts and feelings as passing contents to be observed, rather than as the final truth about who they are. I am having the thought that I'm a failure instead of I am a failure. That small shift is the same space we found. Modern psychology arrived at it from the outside. The contemplatives of India mapped it from the inside, a very long time ago.
So there's a name for these two, presumably. The everyday I and the awareness it shows up in.
There is, and now that you've seen the difference, the names are worth having. The everyday I, the particular person, with the name and the history, the traditions call the self, with a small s. Its technical names are jiva, the individual person, and ahankara, which literally means the I maker, the sense of being a separate me. And the awareness in which that everyday self appears, the knowing we couldn't turn into an object, they call the self, with a capital S. Its names are Atman and Chit, which simply means consciousness. The crucial point. The self isn't a grander, upgraded version of the everyday self, it's a different category altogether. One is something observed, the other is the observing in which it appears.
Small s self, the me that gets tired and worried. Capital S self, the awareness that quietly knows all of it.
You have it exactly. And everything we do from here rests on that one distinction you drew tonight, for yourselves, not on my say-so. As before, a small experiment rather than a task. This time there are two halves, light ones, less than a minute each. Don't strain at them. Insight here never comes from forcing. The first, for everyone, watch a thought arrive. Once a day, sit for a moment and simply wait for a thought to turn up. When it does, notice two things. There's the thought, and there's something that is aware of the thought. Don't go hunting for the something that's aware. Just notice that the noticing is happening, and that it isn't the same as the thought. That's all. The second, watch the I in the place where it bites for you. Sarah, choose one moment with your children when you catch a sharp I can't cope with this, or I'm a bad mother. In that moment, notice that the I in the sentence is itself something you can be aware of. Don't argue with it. Just see that it's a content passing through, not the whole of you.
So instead of drowning in I'm failing her, I notice there's the thought I'm failing her.
Exactly, and feel whether that gives you even a centimetre of room. James, do it with the classroom I. I've lost them, I'm not good at this. Catch it mid-lesson and notice it's an object you're aware of, not a verdict. See if it changes how the next 10 minutes go.
I can already think of a class where I'll get to test that on Thursday.
And Kai, yours is the one we started with. Next time you put the phone down and that I've wasted the evening, what's wrong with me lands, notice the I in it. Where is it? Can you point to it? Or does it slip away the moment you look? You don't need an answer in words. Just look.
Catch the verdict and check whether there's actually anyone there delivering it.
Beautifully put. Notice what you find. Don't try to fix anything. Just see it. We'll begin next time with whatever turned up.
That's where we'll pause. The heart of today. The I you take yourself to be is something you can watch. And whatever can be watched isn't, finally, the watcher. Notice that, even faintly, and a little space opens around even your hardest feelings. Swamiji's experiment this week was simply to watch the eye where it bites for you. Try it. Next episode, we ask what that watching awareness is actually like, and find it's anything but blank. The two faces of what you are. I'm Rama. Until then, be gentle with your mind. And to take this further, the full Lesson 1.2 is available in the course Beginners, Conversations on the Mind in the Light of Modern and Spiritual Sciences on the Ramakrishna Vedanta Center's website, www.vedanta.nz. It is also available as an app on Google Play and the Apple App Store by searching for Vedanta NZ.